Hi, hello everybody. So I'm going to show you briefly how to use Logisim to create a simple circuit. So hopefully you watch this video, before you make your first circuits. Even though it's straightforward and very simple, but sometimes, a student will get a circuit and think the appearance is okay, but the circuit doesn't work. So you're required to create a circuit that works, meaning you may have to test it if you see blue and red lines in your circuit. So this is the circuit I decided to create. I typed in here, create circuit A or B and not C. Okay, so the circuit has three inputs, A, B, and C, and I am going to click on the square box. These are the inputs and drag it in here. Okay, because I have three, I am gonna do this 3 times. Click on that, space it out so it's not too close to one another. And notice that these boxes, they have a 0 in them. So that's the one you want. Okay, now right click on top of each one, and obviously you can delete, and then there's attributes. Because this is a Boolean variable, ABC, there should be no output. 1 data bit, 3 state is a no. Okay, only 2 state, on and off. All right, and this thing is facing the east. Right, so north up, south down, east to the right, and west to the left. Now, why is this important? Because when I drag a line from the box, all of these are facing east, and you can check, right, facing east. All of them are facing east. When you drag a line from the input box, and notice I position my mouse here, drag the line is green. Now, if I try to do this on the other side, oops, I cannot even do it because my input is not facing west. I can change it if I want. I can change it to any direction. So if I change it to facing west, I don't know if you can see, there's a little tiny green thing right here, and now you can drag it facing west. Don't really want to do that because we'll always design the circuit so that it goes from left to right. Okay, so now all of the inputs are facing east, and I'm going to label them ABC. So show attributes. Here, as you see label, I'm going to label the first one A. And the same reason, I can change the label location west, east, north, and south. But in all of these cases, they're going to be in the west. And last one, label, this is going to be my T variable. Okay, so there you have it, A, B, and C. Now I'm going to drag wires from them. And notice if your circuit is correct, you should see a dark green line. That means that 0 bit is passing through that. Okay, so now I have to OR A and B. Okay, so I'm going to drag a OR gate. I'm going to put it right here. And notice that the OR gate has these stick lines. Okay, these are the inputs to the OR. And notice that I can have more than 2, which is perfectly fine. I can have an OR gate with 17 tick marks in them because the OR gate is receiving 17 inputs. But in our case now, we're only going to receive 2. So I have to connect the A and then B inputs to one of these tick marks. It doesn't matter where, as long as I connect it to the OR gate. And now the OR gate, once I OR A or B, it's going to get out. The input of this is going to have to be ended with not C. So here's my C, and I need to put a NOT gate, which is right here. So here is my NOT gate. There's only one input. You don't see any tick marks here because there's only one. And now from here, I drag the line and you might be thinking, why is this light green when the rest is dark? Well, remember that dark green means a 0-bit spacing. And so by default, the 0-bit spacing on C, and the inverter flips it to on. And that's why you see a green light. So normally, your whole circuit is going to be off, right? A dark green. But you may have, if you have an inverter, you may have something light in there somewhere. Now, so after you created your circuit, I'm going to tell you exactly what it should look like. So you should have only dark or all dark green lights, green wires, or some of them should be light if you have inverter. Okay, so let's do an AND, not C. So I need an AND gate. I'm going to put my AND gate right here. And same thing, you see those tick marks right here. I need to connect them directly there. And now I'm going to pull the output from the end. And here is my final output. And now notice I'm going to click here for show attributes. And in show attributes, you should see under the facing of the output is west. Yes, the face should be west because my wires are coming from the east. I'm sorry, are coming from the west, right? They start going to the east and they arrive at the output from the west. Is this an output? Yes, it is. Has to be checked to yes. Data bits 1, 3 state yes. Don't change anything else. You can put a label. You can probably put output if you want, or Q. Output's fine. You can call it Q if you want. Doesn't matter. Q is fine. Now, I am done with my circuit. This is what it looks like. I can test it myself. I should know what the answer to this should be. Let's take a look at testing this individually. So I can click on this little hand, and as it is right now, this thing is passing 0 bits everywhere. Okay, and the reason we see 0 bits is because the lights are dark green. So I can click here. Now you can see the 1 and the wire turns to light green. Okay. So everything is passing on 1 now. Okay, so let's take a look briefly because there are 8 possibilities for outputs. We don't want to check them all right now on this intro video, but you get the idea. So at the very end, I have an AND gate. So in order for the AND gate to pass a 1 of these A and B inputs have to be on, and the C must be off, right? When the C is passing a 0, the inverter flips it to a 1, and I have a 1 coming on the AND gate on this side. So all I need now is either A or B to be on. Obviously, if both are on, I'm gonna get a Q or output of 1. But if B is 0, I also get a 1. Or if A is 0, I also get a 1. Okay? Obviously, if C is 1, I will get a 0, no matter what any of these two guys are. Okay, so this is how you test your circuit. There's other ways, but for now, this is all that we need. So once you are finished with the circuit, this is what it should look like. All dark green wires. And if you have an inverter, you will have a light green. You should not have any blue or red or any other color wire, because if you do, it indicates you have a problem. All right. So follow this approach when you create your circuits and test it using this little hand right here to change the inputs before you submit it for grade.